Open up. It's time for your mandatory parkour check.
Oh, thank you, a mandatory PvP check. I've never been this excited to pay a PvP attack, but I mean, at least this confirms that we're not stuck in an alternate dimension. Wait, did you just say parkour?
You can either do the 1-block jump for the raw chicken, or you can attempt the 1-block vertical jump for the beef. Also, it's not mandatory, just a joke us parkour pros like to say.
Why would I parkour for food?
The likelihood of us being in an alternate universe has now increased to 97%.
Okay, 97%'s not great. How do I even say this? Let's pretend I'm new here. Where are we?
First day as a parkour noob, I take it. Well then, welcome to Parkour Civilization.
Okay, I am in the wrong universe. Alright, this is terrible, but I can fix this. If I'm gonna get back to PvP Civilization, I'm gonna need a clear head. Alright, Minitech, it's time.
You stated that this would only be for emergencies.
Bro, we're stuck in Parkour Civilization. Obviously, this is an emergency. I don't know if Parkour Civilization has video journal machines, but if they don't, well, now they have one. Along with the best journalist of all time. Alright, first video journal update in Parkour Civilization. My name's Evbo, and I'm not from this universe. I am a diamond sword from PvP Civilization, a world where your entire lifespan is determined by the durability of the weapon you hold. And without going into detail, my existence saves the lives of the entire world. Don't get me wrong, I would love to go into detail, but I mean, chapter 1 is probably, I don't know, 3 hours? Another couple for the second chapter? It would take a while. Anyways, let's go back to how I even ended up in Parkour Civilization. I was doing my daily routine of dying, that sounds worse than it is, when I saw someone in the distance that I've never seen before. I tried to get close to them to see what kind of weapon they were holding, but just as I was about to see them, I just disappeared. In a matter of seconds, reality just glitched in front of my eyes, and before I knew it, I was standing on a grid of grass blocks with nothing but void below me, and behind me stood the tallest structure I have ever seen in my entire life. How and why I ended up in Parkour Civilization is still an unknown, but I knew I needed to find a way back as fast as I could because the lives of my family depended on me. The problem with trying to find a way out of Parkour Civilization as quickly as possible is the fact that I could die at any given moment. One missed parkour jump and I'm falling to my death. Like, how can anyone even live under these conditions? No, seriously though, I was baffled that there was an entire neighborhood in Parkour Civilization. It didn't seem likely that people would live long enough to even enjoy the luxury of having a house here, but anyways, that curiosity is what brought me over here, and that's when I found my friend Minitech. Turns out, I wasn't the only one from PvP Civilization here. Anyways, long video journal today, but now we're fully caught up, and we can start making a plan on how to get out of here. So, apparently, I'm a parkour noob. Not really sure if I agree with that, but looks like the guy with the iron boots is a parkour pro. I think I can put 2 and 2 together and say that we're at the lowest level of society, and the only way to survive is to get food given to us by the parkour pros. Why we have to parkour for it, I don't know, but I'm gonna jump for it, because we need food if we're gonna survive this journey. So, it looks like it's time to parkour. Alright, good update, signing off.
This cannot be a wise course of action. You don't know if your respawn power still applies here.
Look, we're gonna have to parkour one way or another, so we might as well just take the leap now. And in the event that I fail and fall into the void, maybe my respawn power will work and I'll wake up back in PvP Civilization. Right, I forgot to mention that in the video journal, I'm kind of immortal in a sense, and I can respawn after dying over and over again. But like Minitech said, I don't really know if that power applies here, which means I'm gonna have to make every single jump count, which is why I'm going for the beef. Look, as someone who's experienced in PvP, parkour was a part of my training. A 1-block vertical jump is no problem for a diamond sword. This is when I found out the hard way that in Parkour Civilization, no one chooses to jump for the beef. I thought my life was over after missing that jump, but to my surprise, my feet were still touching the ground. Somehow, I respawned in the structure at the center of Parkour Civilization. Huh, looks like my respawn power works in this universe as well. Unfortunately, I lost the beef that I kinda just died for, but I respawned with something I didn't have before. Leather boots. I didn't know it at the time, but that was the first moment I truly became a noob in Parkour Civilization. I was about to head over back to the house, but all of a sudden, someone just spawned right inside of me. Yo, what was that about? No! Within a few seconds, I witnessed my first death in Parkour Civilization. I was terrified until I witnessed my first revival in Parkour Civilization. Okay, what is going on? Bro, what? Every time this player fell into the void, he just respawned back on the same platform. I'm not even joking. I watched this guy die like 15 times, and every single time he came back, which led me to come up with 2 different theories. One, whoever this player was had the power of immortality, just like I did. Except I ruled that one out pretty quickly when I, how do I put this nicely? Saw how terrible he was at parkour. The second theory, though, is what helped me convince Minitech to jump for the beef. Bro, I'm telling you, I don't think death exists in Parkour Civilization. I think you just respawn every time you fall. Was it irresponsible to gamble with my friend's life? Yeah, probably, considering he failed to jump. But at the end of the day, I was right, and Minitech respawned with leather boots. Honestly, maybe Parkour Civilization isn't as bad as I thought. Thankfully, the Parkour Pro was still nice enough to let me jump for the chicken even after 2 of us failed the beef jump. Luckily, I didn't fail this parkour jump, and I had successfully acquired my first piece of food in Parkour Civilization. Alright, we are back with a video journal update. Minitech and I are now officially parkour noobs in Parkour Civilization. Now that we discovered that falling into the void doesn't result in death, I think we're a lot more optimistic. Definitely a lot less stressful, especially after seeing our neighbor plunge into the void. I guess that's the whole thing of Parkour Civilization. You get the chance to try again. Anyways, that's all we know about this place. Let's get into what we don't know. The parkour pros, who are evidently better at parkour, seem to play some sort of important role in society. So maybe those are the people that know why we're stuck in Parkour Civilization. Of course, we're gonna have to become parkour pros to figure that out, and I think I have a good idea of how we get there. The Temple of Parkour, which is a giant temple with parkour, seems to be the only thing that connects the 2 layers of society. So the next step in our plan is to go there and try to rank up to become parkour pros. Alright, now for the part in the video journal where I just fire off random questions. Do people have PvP weapons here? No one seems to question that we're holding diamond swords. Do they even know the concept of PvP? If that's the case, how do they even buy anything if they don't have armor stands? I mean, if I was gonna buy a house, which obviously I'm going to, wait, Minitech, we're in your house. How did you buy this? Am I upset that Minitech didn't tell me how to buy a house? Maybe a little, but it makes sense. Traditionally, I have an issue with wasting all of my sword durability on shopping. No way, Foray, you're here too? I'm starting to think all of PvP Civilization is here. This is Foray, and he's part of my family in PvP Civilization. Hey, why are you just staring at this hole?
I paid this guy for a house and he just disappeared.
He just disappeared? That doesn't make sense. Well, how much did you pay for it? It says here a house costs 2 block jump. What does that even mean?
Bro, what is wrong with you? Do you know how long I worked to become a parkour pro? How did you even deal damage to me anyways? What parkour jump did you use?
Oh, I think I know what's going on here. So this one says 2.5 ladder jump for a large house. Okay, yeah, I get it. I see why you didn't get the house. You just didn't hit him far enough. Hey, could you stand right there real quick? Thank you. All right, I'm getting the parkour mansion. Just gotta hit him onto the ladder. Never mind. So, does this guy get paid to, come back and keep doing this? So the parkour house was not acquired, but now we have Foray with us. Hey, Foray, you haven't, missed a parkour jump yet, have you?
Parkour was a part of our training. Why would I fall?
All right, well, it's good to get some experience. Sorry.
Really? You think this is funny? You think risking my life is a joke?
Look, I was like 99% sure you were gonna respawn. Plus, now you have leather boots, which I'm pretty sure you need if we're gonna become parkour pros. Just try to relax. We're in a universe where nothing bad can happen to us. Now, if more people from PvP Civilization start showing up here, that would probably not be good. But for whatever reason, I think it's just us 3 diamond swords here stuck in Parkour Civilization.
As far as I can tell, only 3 of the diamond swords made it here. We should get rid of them now while we have the chance, given we share the same interests.
You want to get rid of Evbo to rule over all of PvP Civilization. I don't trust Evbo to be the one we all depend on for longer lives. There's a difference.
Sounds like you have it out for Evbo more than I do.
I don't like the idea of the power going to his head, with the whole world bowing down to him. That doesn't mean I want him dead. If you haven't noticed, we're stuck here too. And knowing Evbo, he'll make sure he finds a way back. No point of fighting him if he can show us the way back home. Also, we don't even know what happens when we die here.
Let's find out, shall we?
Open up, it's time for parkour. You can either do the 1 block jump for the raw chicken or the 1 block vertical jump for the beef. Honestly, I would make the beef jump easier for you if you want. I know parkour noobs have it tough.
No respawn from a PvP death. Now that's interesting. Maybe PvP Civilization can wait. I think I'll conquer this one instead.
Well, we are 3 parkour noobs now. I'm not sure if I should be concerned that more and more people are showing up from PvP Civilization, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't hoping for my best friend Tabby and all the other diamond swords to show up too. I know that's a little selfish considering we might be stuck here forever, but I'm convinced we're gonna find a way back, so let me update the video journal on what we know. To become a parkour pro, you need to make this giant parkour course inside the parkour temple. At first glance, the course didn't seem that difficult, but the problem is getting in to actually attempt the course. You see, parkour noobs need to earn 3 tickets if they want to try to rank up to become a parkour pro. I found this out when I was going around Parkour Civilization, and I saw a giant statue with a player wearing iron boots. When I got closer, I saw that there was a line of parkour noobs waiting to do a parkour course. I watched a player make the jumps in hopes of reaching the dispenser on the other side. However, I regret to inform the journal, that she did not make it. The next parkour noob, however, did make the course and collected some item from the base of the statue. But after seeing the player just do 2 jumps to leave the course, I then wondered to myself why I can't just skip the entire thing and go to the dispenser. Unfortunately, I figured out you can't even get a ticket unless you actually make the course, which makes 0 sense to me considering it's just a dispenser. Minutech's theory is that parkour in this world has some sort of universal power. Just to expand on that, he's suggesting that this inanimate parkour course somehow knows if you complete the course or not, through parkour magic. Yeah, I'm not really sold on that, but whatever the reason, I still had to do the course. Hey, are you gonna go?
Bro, can you please be quiet? Becoming a parkour pro takes an incredible amount of focus, and I've been stuck on this course for years.
You've been stuck on this course for years? Well, it's just a bunch of 2-block jumps. Just make the first jump and do it over again.
I've never made the first jump.
There's no way you haven't made the first jump. Okay, maybe that is true. Maybe my perception of skill in Parkour Civilization is a little warped given that I trained so much to become a diamond sword, but if this is all it takes to become a parkour pro, being at the top of society in Parkour Civilization doesn't seem that impressive. Anyways, I completed the parkour course and I got an item from the dispenser. It was my first ticket to become a parkour pro. However, if you want to actually attempt the course to rank up, you need 2 more tickets. So that is where the PvP Civilization squad is off to. Alright, I'll update you guys when we become parkour pros. Signing off. I watched as both Minutech and Foray easily completed the first parkour course to get their first tickets. The course for the second ticket, however, looked a little more challenging. While we were studying the course, however, I was looking around and I saw some giant building up at the parkour pro layer. What is this? Looks like a factory. Hey, you guys keep studying this course. I need to go check this out real quick. I made my way over until I was directly under this giant building and I looked up to see someone parkouring. Wait, is that a person? It kind of looks like a... Oh my... Okay, if I had a video journal update on me, I would have to make an update because I swear I just saw that cow do parkour. Is it ethical to be eating this after what I just witnessed? Probably not. Also, another fair question, do cows themselves jump for the beef if they can parkour? And if so, how exactly does that work? A lot of questions, not a lot of answers, but regardless, I think the parkour cow gave me the strength needed to complete the course for the second ticket. I made the final jump landing directly in front of the dispenser, and I was now only 1 ticket away from getting the chance to rank up to become a parkour pro. At this rate, all 3 of us are going to be parkour pros in no time, never mind. Alright, well, Minutech had to go back and get his first 2 tickets again, while Foray and I were on the 3rd and final course to become parkour pros. Alright, we are back with a video journal update. Yes, I did fail the last jump of the 3rd course, but I learned a valuable lesson about how to survive in Parkour Civilization. You see, it's all about consistency here. Your entire life in this civilization changes drastically if you fail 1 single jump, which is why you have to treat every jump like it's your last. And that is the outlook that helped me get all 3 tickets to rank up to become a parkour pro. So that's where we're off to, ranking up to the top level of Parkour Civilization. Unfortunately, this is the last video journal I'll ever make here. I have no way of breaking the video journal machine, and we only brought 1 backup. So, looks like I'm signing off for good. Goodbye, Parkour Civilization. I would have loved to at least get 1 journal update as a parkour pro.
Daily parkour check. Are you gonna try jumping for the beef again today?
Wait a second, these guys can break blocks, right? Look, I don't need the beef or the chicken. I just want to know if you can break this or not.
I could, if I'm given a fair price.
These guys have never been bribed by a diamond sword before. All right, say a number. How many PvP attacks you want? 10? 20?
I don't know what kind of parkour jump that is, but I'm interested.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. How is parkour even a currency? That doesn't make sense. Okay, just give me a second. This is my first parkour transaction. Is a 1-block jump good enough?
Are you kidding? A 1-block jump?
Oh, great.
I once heard a story of a parkour pro being paid with a 360. This is just insulting.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. What do you guys even gain from getting paid in parkour? And why is a 360 somehow worth more? Okay, what parkour jump do I even do to pay this guy? Foray, help me think of something to pay this guy with. I'm trying to get him to break my video journal, but they don't even know what PvP attacks are.
Break his video journal, or I will end your life.
No, Foray, no, don't do that.
Look, you guys don't know how to parkour battle yet, so threatening me isn't really gonna do anything.
Whoa, chill. The parkour pro kindly broke my video journal and gave it to me, which is awesome because now we get video journal updates at the top level of Parkour Civilization. Thank you. Sorry about my friend. It was time to rank up to become a parkour pro and hopefully find a way back to PvP Civilization. Time is running out because even though death doesn't exist for us here in Parkour Civilization, it definitely does for my family back home. And I'm not there to protect them, so that means we have to find a way no matter what. Foray and Minutech were waiting for me in the parkour temple, and we stared up at the parkour course that would allow us to get to the top level of society in Parkour Civilization. This was a time when we couldn't afford any mistakes. Sure, we can die and respawn, but that costs us a lot of time. And the longer we stay here, the higher chance of PvP Civilization erupting into chaos. Fortunately, Foray went first and made the entire parkour course without any errors. That was kind of expected though, given that Foray is technically the best of of us, but now it was time for Minute Tech to run the course. At one point, I thought it was all over when he missed a parkour jump, but luckily he landed back on the course, only suffering a little bit of fall damage. Soon after though, I watched Minute Tech make the final jump to become a parkour pro. Both of my friends ranked up to become parkour pros, and now it's just me. I threw my 3 tickets into the hopper and the wall opened up, giving way to the parkour course. Alright, this is it. It's time to become a parkour pro. Making this doesn't just get me to the top of society, which will be very cool to see, but it could also save the lives of so many people in PvP Civilization. I just have to be smart and take my time with each jump. There's nothing stopping me now other than just making these parkour jumps. That was what I thought until I made a parkour jump and I saw something move below me. I looked over the edge and saw a player with the trident chasing after me. And no, this is not just some random player, this is Prince Zam, the one person in PvP Civilization who actively wants me dead. Okay, nothing crazy, just have to PvP and parkour at the same time. Luckily, I kind of have experience with that. No! I failed a parkour jump and landed right in front of Prince Zam, and we both landed a hit on each other. I thought I knocked him far enough away for me to gain distance, but he caught up and knocked me down to a lower level of the parkour course. Thankfully, I managed to dodge falling into the void, but now I had a different problem. Prince Zam was higher up on the parkour course than me, meaning he had the advantage in this PvP battle. I climbed back up as fast as I could and immediately engaged in battle, but our next exchange sent us both flying off the edge. I landed on the ground with 3 hearts left, and Prince Zam was nowhere to be seen. This was my opening to try to get to the top and become a parkour pro. It wasn't going to be easy though, because Prince Zam was still following me, and I only had 3 hearts left. Falling into the void in this universe makes you respawn, but what about fall damage or a PvP death? Not something I want to figure out. I made it to the top where I stood in front of the final jump of the parkour course. This is it. I either jump or I turn and fight. But before I could decide, an arrow came out of nowhere and knocked Prince Zam off the parkour course. Great, now there are bows in Parkour Civilization. Wait, maybe that's one of my friends. I didn't see who shot the arrow, and I wasn't gonna wait at the top of the parkour course in risk of getting shot off myself. So I went for the final jump and I made it. I completed the course to become a parkour pro. Okay, that was not as easy as I thought it was gonna be, but I'm still alive, so that's all that counts. The cobblestone door at the top of the parkour temple opened up, giving way to a room that was made out of copper and bricks. Seems like if you rank up to become a parkour pro, the parkour temple gets nicer as well. I turned the corner to see a pit of lava as well as Minute Tech standing there with iron boots. Apparently this pit of lava was some sort of parkour ritual where I had to throw my leather boots away. Could be symbolic, or maybe a genuine design flaw of Parkour Civilization. I don't know. With my leather boots gone, one jump stood in the way of me becoming a parkour pro. And I did not fail this one. I jumped between 2 dispensers and I stood there with my new iron boots as a parkour pro. Let's go, we all made it. Big problem, Prince Zam is here as well as a bow, don't know who it is. So let's just get out of here before I die, okay? I walked up into the new room of the parkour temple to see statues with leather boots, iron boots, gold boots, and diamond boots. Of course, why would I assume there's only 2 levels to Parkour Civilization? I literally went through this exact same realization in my own civilization. Alright guys, well we are not at the top level, so we might as well get a move on. I'm guessing if we're only on level 2 out of 4, Parkour pros probably have 0 idea why we're even here. Okay. Hey, why is Foray staring at that statue for so long?
I believe he is wondering why this statue is of you.
What? I looked up at the statue of the player wearing the diamond boots, and I saw me. Why is there a statue of me in Parkour Civilization? But that's when I realized that this wasn't me. It was the Evbo from this universe.
I thought we agreed not to make an enemy out of Evbo here, but I guess not. Doesn't matter though, I've changed my mind. You can go after him all you want. As far as he knows, I'm the one who saved his life from you, and having both sides of his trust could be of use to us.
Okay, we are back and we have a lot to talk about. So let's start with the most obvious one. Yes, this is the official Parkour Civilization movie poster, and this is the official PvP Civilization movie poster, and yes, you can buy them right now, and yes, I'm gonna be hand signing every single one of them, and you can find them right in the description of this video journal. Okay, on to the second most obvious thing. Am I a parkour god? Not like me, but like me in this universe, me in Parkour Civilization. To be honest, I hadn't even considered the possibility that there would be an alternate version of myself. I know the concept of that sounds crazy, but well, I only know one person with that headband, and it happens to be me. So anyways, now I have a newfound goal in life, and that is to interview myself on a video journal. Just think about how crazy that would be. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, so let's calm it down. Becoming a parkour pro comes with luxuries as well as expectations. The first thing I noticed about the pro level of Parkour Civilization information is that every single jump is now a 2-block jump instead of the normal one. I also confirmed that society continues up even higher. I'm guessing that's where the players with the gold boots live, and it definitely looks like it takes a lot to get there. I have a feeling this journey is not going to be easy, but it's okay because I think we're adapting pretty quickly. Foray and I managed to find a building on the Parkour Pro level that was selling houses. Now, after Foray threatened the shop owner for a little bit, we figured out that you don't have to hit a player across a parkour jump to buy something. You just have to make the jump yourself. Yeah, you remember how I said parkour currency makes 0 sense? Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how does a shop owner get any benefit from me doing parkour? Whether or not it makes sense, well, I did a 3-block jump and I bought myself a house. Yes, I know I traditionally have a shopping addiction, but firstly, that was the old me. And second, I paid for this with parkour and not PvP attacks. There's gotta be a difference. Anyways, point of the story, I was extremely impressed with Parkour Civilization real estate. I mean, this place was crazy. Good square footage, 3 stories, hard to complain. It was a little too parkour themed, especially with the built-in parkour jumps and the poster. So naturally, I did what anyone else would have done in my spot, and I paid a parkour graphic designer to make me my own poster. 4 1-block jumps in a row, kind of a steal. Then I set up the video journal, of course, and well, now we're here. So here's what we're gonna set out to do. 1, find the other Evbo. I mean, that one's obviously a given. 2, get some food to heal up so I don't die by Prince Zam, who's probably already on this level now. And 3, rank up to get some gold boots. Alright, that's it for this one. Signing off. Just as I closed out of the video journal, I heard a strange noise come from outside. I made my way over towards the parkour temple, and sure enough, I saw a large group of parkour pros just standing looking at something. It looked like everyone was here. Even Minitech was here. Hey, what's going on? What is everyone staring at? But just up ahead, through the crowd, I saw what everyone was staring at. A player was making an announcement. Someone with golden boots.
I've gathered everyone here to deliver some disturbing news. The parkour champion has gone missing.
The parkour champion? What's a parkour champion?
We will be pausing any rank ups to prevent anyone from taking control of the command box.
Well, this is just great. Can't get any worse than this.
Furthermore, we've had parkour pros missing as well. We believe this is a situation linked to our missing prisoner. Therefore, if you see someone holding an item that you do not recognize, point them out immediately.
Okay, it did get worse. At least not that many people know me, right? Oh my... Okay, this is not good. Wait, bro, why are you staring at me? You have a sword too? Minitech and I both ran in different directions. I don't know what was gonna happen to us, but if these people think that we're responsible for the missing parkour champion, that can't be good. Just as I turned the corner though, I saw something strange. The guy with the golden boots looked at me and jumped across 2 brewing stands. Okay, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna keep going. I don't know what just happened to me. A second ago, I was in Parkour Civilization, and now I'm in a prison cell floating over lava. For a moment, I thought the same thing happened just as it did in PvP Civilization. I thought I was just teleported to a different universe again. I mean, how else would I have gotten here? But that's when I looked over and I saw Minitech in a cell beside me. And then I looked around and saw all the parkour jumps. I am still in Parkour Civilization, but somehow I'm in parkour prison. Oh, this is not good. Hey, wait, excuse me? Can you let me out of here, please?
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. You hold an item that is unknown to Parkour Civilization. You're staying here until we find the champion.
Look, I don't even know what a parkour champion is. I don't know how to say this, but I'm not even from here, so I couldn't have done anything.
We know. We know you're from somewhere that's not Parkour Civilization. The parkour champion warned us about this right before he disappeared. He called it PvP.
Wait, so you guys have heard of PvP? The Parkour Pro directed my attention to a giant cell that stood in the middle of the prison. He said that not long ago, they had a prisoner in this cell, someone who held an item just like all of us from PvP Civilization. According to the Parkour Pro, the player swung the item in his hand one time and took out one of the guards. And after that, they said the player just disappeared. Okay, I see what's going on here, and the situation is not good. Someone that's one of the weapons from PvP Civilization has been here before, and whoever that was responsible for the disappearance of this so-called parkour champion. Which means, until the champion returns, anyone they see with a weapon from PvP Civilization will be locked up in parkour prison. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do anymore. I don't know what I can do. I was supposed to find a way back to PvP Civilization to save my family, but I failed. Now all I can do is just sit in my cell and do 1-block jumps, thinking about what that guard said. He said that the player trapped in that cell swung his item one time and took someone's life. That doesn't make sense. What weapon in PvP Civilization can take someone's life in one PvP attack?
It's been 2 days since Evbo went missing, along with Foray and Minitech. I feel responsible for this. It was supposed to be my job to protect them, but I don't know what more I could have done. They just disappeared. And it's not just them too. The people I usually fight are gone as well. Something is happening to PvP Civilization. I don't know what, but I can feel it. I know Evbo's alive somewhere. We just have to find him. Signing off. Wembu, what's going on? Who are those people?
I don't know, but they aren't holding any type of weapons, so I think a better question is, how are they still alive?
I don't care who they are. They did something to Evbo, so that means nothing stops us until we find a way to bring him back.
Well, you know what they say. As long as you can parkour, there's always a way.
Where did that come from?
My life started as a parkour noob. I worked my way up to become a parkour pro, fought in battles to my last breath till I became a parkour master, and saved all of parkour civilization to become the champion. But now I'm something more. I am the god of parkour civilization. But what does being the parkour god mean exactly? Well, for one, I get netherite boots. Obviously very cool, but probably doesn't compare to the other features. Like being able to summon parkour out of thin air. Any jump I can think of, I can make. And now for the last perk of being the parkour god. Being able to do a 360 over copper rods to summon lightning. Funny thing about that one though, that one has nothing to do with being the parkour god. That's just how good I am. Anyways, aside from my abilities, my job is to be the guardian of parkour civilization. And up until today, that job was easy for me. Up until it wasn't. Within the span of one parkour jump, I was no longer looking down at all of parkour civilization, but up at a giant structure in the middle of mountains of sand. I didn't know how I got here, but I knew one thing. I wasn't in parkour civilization anymore, which means if I'm trapped here, then who's gonna protect my world? It's not often you get sent randomly to a different universe, but if I know one thing about exploring new places, talking to people is the best way to figure things out. Luckily, I found just what I needed, a player that will hopefully help explain the situation I'm in.
People didn't believe me when I said you weren't the god they thought you were. I won't let my civilization die because of you.
Wait, am I still in parkour civilization? How do you know who I am? Okay, well, if you want to know my resume, I defeated the evil parkour champion with a triple neo, and then I defeated the parkour villain with a parkour race. I don't know, both of those things seem like pretty good things. I don't know what else I could do to improve my reputation as a parkour god. What just happened? How did I just take damage? What parkour jump did you just do? Okay, it's been a while since I've been a part of a parkour battle, so let's break this down quickly. He's not using barriers, so it must be some other form of invisible parkour. But just as I was about to build my parkour combo to defend myself, the player put away the item he was holding and just disappeared right in front of my eyes.
So you're the parkour god and I still have to save your life.
Well, this is a very humbling moment. Standing behind me was the player that just saved my life with the parkour jump. A parkour jump that I taught him, by the way. This was my friend, the parkour champion, the one who rules over all of parkour civilization. Okay, please tell me you did something with the command blocks and you brought us somewhere very far away and you're gonna send us back right now.
Unfortunately, this wasn't me, and I'm guessing it wasn't you, which means we're in trouble because if someone takes control of the command blocks, parkour civilization could be destroyed.
Okay, you're right, this is very bad, but we can find a way back home. Besides, we got the two best parkour players in the world, and you know what they say, as long as you can parkour.
Stop, please don't say it.
My parkour champion friend saved my life with a 3-block chest jump. If you successfully land an attack with the chest jump, you steal all the items from a player's inventory. So, right before I was attacked by that random player, my parkour champion friend already had the jump set up. So, when that player jumped towards me, they failed the parkour battle and lost this item called an iron axe. The question I have is, why did that player die from a 3-block jump? Wait, you didn't hit him with a 360, did you?
I recently heard from a parkour pro that they found someone holding an item similar to that one. It's some sort of weapon, and it influences how they live.
If someone's in parkour civilization with one of these weapons, people won't know how to stop them. Okay, we just have to assume that Jumper will take control of the command blocks while you're gone. If she does that, I'm sure she'll keep parkour civilization safe.
Hey guys!
And of course she's here too.
Wait, don't tell me. So you guys tried the chorus for a jump, and you discovered that if you land an attack, it can send a player really far away?
Sorry to disappoint, but no one did a parkour jump. Trust me though, we'll get around to trying the chorus fruit jump eventually. This is Jumperhoo, the only other person in parkour civilization besides the champion that knows I exist as the parkour god. She has a unique skill set that specializes in experimental parkour. I mean, she became a parkour master by putting someone to sleep with a bed jump. So now she hangs with us and keeps a book of all potential parkour parkour jumps that might revolutionize parkour civilization. Okay, but check this out. I did try the copper rod jump.
Please tell me it summons lightning.
You can in fact strike someone with lightning.
Yes, I knew it.
Okay, we're not gonna find a way back to parkour civilization anytime soon just standing here, so let's probably find somewhere to go, or at least find people that don't want us dead. The parkour champion told us that when he first arrived in this universe, he saw a structure that looked like it could be the home for people in this civilization. Sure enough, we followed him through the desert and saw a giant structure looming in the distance. Definitely a promising sign of player activity, but the question is, will these be players that want to help us? None of us know what PvP is or how it works, but we're gonna have to take a risk if we're gonna get back to parkour civilization. Alright, you guys stay here. Time for parkour surveillance. Right, I forgot to mention the last pretty cool perk that comes with being the parkour god, and that is getting access to my own dimension. Anytime at will, I can transport myself to this place, a place where I don't need parkour jumps to move around, because, well, everything is a parkour jump in this dimension. The good thing about being in this state is no one can see me here, but I can see them, which makes this a good power when it comes to observing potential threats. It was hard to make sense of what this giant structure was. I saw walls with colors that somewhat represented all the variations of boots in parkour civilization, but the most notable thing were the armor stands. Now, I'm no stranger to armor stands in parkour civilization, but clearly armor stands have a much larger impact in this civilization than ours. I kinda confirmed that when I saw a giant house shaped as an armor stand. But that's when I found my first player. Up at the top of the house, I heard the faint sound of footsteps, and I made my way up to see a woman talking to some machine. It sounded like she was recording a message.
It's been 2 days since Evbo went missing, along with Foray and Minitek. They just disappeared.
This person knows who I am and knows I went missing. Except she's not talking about me because she's not from our world, which means she's talking about the Evbo from this universe. Okay, this makes a lot more sense now. Okay, guys, we have a lot of development. So there's an Evbo from this universe that's not me, and I'm pretty sure he's stuck in parkour civilization, and the people here are trying to find him. So long story short, if these people are friends with Evbo in this universe, I'm sure they'll help us get back home. All right, now I gotta find a good way to introduce myself.
Who are those people?
I don't know, but they aren't holding any type of weapons, so I think a better question is, how are they still alive?
I don't care who they are. They did something to Evbo, so that means nothing stops us until we find a way to bring him back.
Oh, great. Why did you have to say it like that?
Well, you know what they say. As long as you can parkour, there's always a way.
What is going on? Where is Evbo's diamond sword?
Forget that. Where did Evbo get all this aura from?
All right, I think that was a good non-threatening introduction. Let's do this.
Evbo, tell me what's going on. Where did you go? And how are you still alive without a weapon?
Right, okay, I am not your Evbo. I mean, I am Evbo, my name is Evbo, but I'm not from your world. In fact, I don't even know what this place is. What is this called?
Oh, this is called PvP civilization.
Right, which means I'm pretty sure the Evbo you know is somehow stuck in my universe. I don't know how we swap places, but my world's in danger, and I'm sure the same goes for you as well.
You said our Evbo is in your universe. What is your universe?
Well, that would be parkour civilization. We are back with our first video journal update in Parkour Prison. Now I'm gonna address the obvious, I do not have a video journal machine, but Minitek can kind of hear me from over there, so it's not like I'm talking to myself exactly. Anyways, let's get to it. Parkour Prison has lava everywhere down below. If I miss a jump, I'm dead. I mean, I know that respawning is a thing in Parkour Civilization, but, well, it would be pointless to have a prison if you could just jump out at any time, so I'm gonna assume the worst. Then we have the prisoner that was supposedly from PvP Civilization. I don't know how they escaped, but apparently they took out someone in one PvP attack. No clue who that might be. Maybe a diamond axe, I guess? But speaking of weapons from PvP Civilization, there is a bow here, and I know who it is. The leader of the bows, Siwat, was trapped here as well, but somehow escaped his cell and headed towards the exit. So now I know who was responsible for saving me from Prince Zam when I was trying to rank up to become a parkour pro. Siwat holds a weapon from PvP Civilization, yet he was able to escape, and I think I might have an idea on how he did that. Alright, signing off. Hey, excuse me. Wait, please. Look, I need to get out of here. So, I'm offering something. I'll pay you in parkour.
Besides the fact that I was told to never let you out, you only gave me a 1-block jump last time.
That's true, but I did not exactly understand the parkour currency then, but now is different. You better be paying attention because this kind of bribe doesn't come around often. Alright, there's one, and one more. Let's go. Nice! There's two. Told you wouldn't regret this.
So first you pay me with a 1-block jump, then threaten to kill me, and then give me 2 1-block jumps. Yeah, nice try, buddy.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Bro, how did Siwat escape? What kind of jumps can you even do in a small cell like this? There's gotta be one jump that just pays for every... Wait a minute.
I once heard a story of a parkour pro being paid with a 360. This is just insulting.
That's it? Okay, now I just gotta figure out how to do a 360. All right, you wanna be paid more? Check this out. Okay, this is a little scary, but I mean, I've done a 360 before. I swear, if this doesn't work, this is gonna be embarrassing. Was that even a 360?
I don't believe it. A 360? I thought that was just a myth. I can't believe this.
I said this before, and I'll say it again. I don't know how a 360 adds more value to a parkour jump. But don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because this single jump just got me out of prison. Okay, note to self, 360s are very valuable here. Definitely might come in handy, especially now that Parkour Civilization will probably be trying to throw me back in jail. I told Minitech I'd find a way to break him out, or if he wants to break out on his own, he just has to do a 360, I guess. And I made my way towards what I assumed to be the exit of Parkour Prison. I stepped through the giant portal and instantly was teleported back into the Parkour Temple. I know it's not worth much, but it's kind of cool to say that I've escaped 2 prisons in 2 different universes. Alright, but back to what's important. I would go back to my video journal machine and make an update, but I have a new game plan now, so I can't get sidetracked. And that plan is to go even higher in Parkour Civilization. The player with the gold boots said the Parkour champion was missing, and someone could take control of the command blocks. Now, I don't know what the command blocks are, but I have a feeling that that might be my best chance of getting back to PvP Civilization.
And you would be right, but you're gonna need my help to get there.
An entire civilization of people with lifespans that revolve around the durability of the weapon they're born with. And the only way to guarantee your own survival is by taking the life of someone else. Kinda makes me grateful for how easy we have it in Parkour Civilization. The Evbo from PvP Civilization has a best friend named Tabby, and she told me everything I needed to know. Turns out I'm kind of the hero in this civilization as well, but not in any way that I could have thought of. The Evbo from this universe willingly sacrifices himself so he can save the lives of everyone here. I guess he has some power to respawn, so every time he dies, players claim the durability from the weapon he drops in order to live longer. Knowing all this brings us back to the player the Parkour champion took out with the chest jump. It makes sense now. If PvP Civilization depends on Evbo for his durability, they must have thought that Evbo just gave up on them, when in reality he's not even here. Which is why we need to find a way to bring him back as soon as possible, or else this player's life might not be the only one lost. I watched as Tabby salvaged what was left of the Iron Axe's durability, and that's when I saw that she had an axe of her own. I don't know how that works. I guess you can have more than one PvP weapon? All I know is once you have one, you can't drop it or else you die, so I'm kind of glad I didn't pick up the Iron Axe. So you're telling me there are 5 different civilizations in PvP Civilization, and not one of these knows how to use parkour to attack?
Look, I'm sure you settle disagreements with parkour wherever you're from, but here, this is real fighting.
Okay, looks like we got a non-believer here. How about this? I'll show you parkour if you show me what PvP is. Okay, do it again. Okay. Can you do it one more time but slower?
How is this confusing?
Okay, so if you wanted to battle me, you can just do that over and over. Interesting. In parkour battles, you actually have to wait your turn. Hey, what's like a super powerful attack look like? Whoa, 5 hearts of damage with 1 attack? I wonder how much damage it would do if you added...
Okay, I showed you PvP. Now, explain this parkour thing quickly so I can start thinking of ways to keep you alive.
I'm sorry to tell you, but explaining parkour battles might take a while.
Where did those blocks just come from?
Okay, let's hope a 4-block jump doesn't take her out. So parkour battling is intention-based. If I want to attack you with this 4-block jump, I just have to think about it. Or you can verbally announce it to be cooler. So now you are officially locked into a parkour battle, and if you don't make this jump or a jump that's even harder, you might die.
Are all versions of you incapable of being serious?
Okay, I'm pretty confident you're not gonna die, but look, I don't know how parkour damage affects PvP people.
Let's go find...
Ooh, okay, you didn't die.
What did you just do to me?
I mean, I showed you. I hit you with a 4-block jump.
No way. What's your strongest attack?
Well, let me think. You have Neos, parkour combos, and then you can add a 360, which is kind of my signature move.
Yeah, you can try hitting me with that.
Whoa, no can do. Sorry, man. A 360 at full strength would be like, well, I don't really have a comparison. You would just die. I can just show you one if you want to see it by itself.
Trust me, I'm the strongest one here. I'll survive.
Bro, I'm telling you, you're gonna die. Now that I think about it, it's a little strange that I've gotten that request in both universes. After I explained parkour battles to Tabby, I met up with, I guess, the 3rd diamond sword. Her name was Julie, and she brought me to a building known as the Video Journal Machine headquarters. Apparently, the machine I saw Tabby talking to earlier was called a Video Journal Machine, and all of the video journal logs end up here.
You, or I guess I should say the other you, likes to spend way too much time in this place. His entire life story is basically recorded here.
Whoa, so the other version of me made all of these journals?
Feel free to watch them. It might take you days, but it's a good story.
To be honest, I kind of overlooked the fact that there is an alternate version of myself. But just one of these video journals proves that. Wait, bro, how many of these did he make? Anyways, what I was gonna say is just one of these video journals will confirm the existence of an alternate version of myself. And I'm gonna start at the very beginning. Maybe knowing the history of my other self might help me protect this civilization while I'm still here. All right, how does this work? Well, there's already one still in here. If I watch this, am I starting at the end? Alright, first video journal update in Parkour Civilization. My name's Evbo, and I'm not from this universe. Okay, this is crazy. So that's me from PvP Civilization. And he brought one of these video journal machines to Parkour Civilization, and somehow those journals are still able to be seen by us in this universe. So if this machine can bridge the gap between both of our universes, is it possible to send a message? So, in a slight turn of events, the leader of the bows and the leader of the swords, I don't know if anyone calls me that, but I guess I can call myself that for right now, are teaming up to become parkour masters. Apparently, according to Siwat, the command blocks are blocks at the top of Parkour Civilization that have the power to control everything. So, our thinking is that if we can get access to the command blocks, we can send ourselves home. However, similar to becoming a parkour pro, we needed some sort of ticket to actually make the course to rank up to become a parkour master. So I kind of thought our journey was over pretty quickly, but then I turned around to see that Siwat had placed down 2 oak planks. I guess the way you earn a ticket to become a parkour master is defeating a player in a parkour battle. Now, the obvious question, what is parkour battling? Well, I kind of assume that parkour here does damage somehow. Especially after seeing that parkour master jump over 2 brewing stands and I got knocked unconscious. Yeah, that still doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm just gonna go with it. So anyways, that led to Siwat attacking me, I guess you would call it, with a 4-block jump, and then I died and respawned as a parkour noob. Turns out that if you lose a parkour battle here, or if you miss a jump and fall down a layer, you will lose your rank. Which means if I'm gonna have any chance at getting to the top of Parkour Civilization and getting out of here, I probably can't afford to be dying all the time. But this time was an exception because 1, well, it was voluntary, and 2, this was the only way we could possibly rank up to become masters. Because the parkour champion or whatever is missing, I guess they put a pause on all parkour battles to stop people from getting these tokens. So letting Siwat defeat me in a parkour battle actually does 2 things. 1, it lets us rank up to become parkour masters in a time when no one can rank up. And 2, well, it goes a long way with trust. Siwat saved me when I was trying to rank up, so it's only fair I pay him back. Hey Siwat, how'd you get to know so much about all this parkour battling stuff, the command blocks? I mean, I'm guessing you haven't been here that long either, so how did you get to know all this?
Why did you break me out of prison? What do you want from me? Why would I need to master parkour? You know I'm not from here. And what makes you think I'm not capable of surviving on my own? I guess paying people here in parkour goes a long way.
Makes sense. Siwat learned how to do the 360 as well. Going on this journey with Siwat to become parkour masters actually goes a long way for me. Siwat speaks for the entire bow civilization back home. And while we haven't really had any fights, the bows haven't really been on the trusting side when it comes to me offering my sword durability to them. So with that being said, if I can help Siwat get back to PvP civilization, that might just be enough to convince him that I don't have bad intentions and I just want to help them. Fortunately, both Siwat and I didn't have to go back to being parkour noobs. We completed the parkour course to become parkour masters, and I got to throw away my iron boots in exchange for a new pair of golden boots. Alright, 3rd layer of society unlocked. The job's not finished though, because to get access to the command blocks, well, one of us needs to become the parkour champion. But given the fact that the parkour champion's missing, it might be possible for us to get the diamond boots according to Siwat. Now comes the part of the plan where we actually figure out how to do that. And that brings us to, well, I guess parkour society. Here at the 3rd level of Parkour Civilization, life becomes less about making the parkour jumps and more about fighting with parkour. Parkour masters battle in this giant arena in hopes of becoming the champion one day. So now that Siwat and I are both parkour masters, well, we're just gonna battle each other. To do that though, Siwat said he needed to find blocks for us to battle with, but he knew where to get some. So in the meantime, I was gonna have to find out how to get into the parkour arena. Apparently, since the parkour champion is gone, ranking up is now paused, I guess. So with that in effect, I'm guessing the player standing at the door to the parkour arena is not gonna let me in. So that's gonna be a problem because the parkour arena is how I get the diamond boots. And the diamond boots are how I get to the top of Parkour Civilization. Alright, let's just go talk to this guy. I think I just gotta be confident, to be honest. I mean, the other Evbo became the Parkour champion of this universe, so why can't I? Hey man, could I get into the arena, please?
Every parkour master knows that battling is prohibited until the parkour champion returns.
Yeah, so I heard. How do you feel about getting paid with a 360? Maybe even 2. I'm open to negotiations.
Evbo, where have you been all this time? Haven't seen you since you defeated the parkour villain and then you made your friend the champion.
No way, this guy actually knows me? Right, okay. Yeah, so I actually need to defeat a parkour villain again. So, do you think you could let me in? Okay, this is weird. This is the first person in Parkour Civilization I've met that knows me, not me, but the me from this universe, and it seems like it already has its benefits. I mean, this guy just let me into the parkour arena despite Parkour Civilization shutting down this arena entirely. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume being the parkour champion means everything here, which leads me to the question, that guy said I made my friend the parkour champion, so what happened to me? Oh, lots of questions and not many video journal machines to debrief. I'm gonna have to do without. For now, I just have to wait in this giant parkour arena for Siwat to arrive with some blocks. Then we parkour battle, one of us becomes the champion, and we both get out of here back to PvP Civilization.
Yep, just jump and you'll start flying.
There's no way I'm just gonna start. What the?
So this is for sure your Evbo from your universe.
Yep, that's very much him. I thought he was done buying more journal machines.
Okay, you're gonna have to explain to me how this machine works, because if this thing can communicate across dimensions...
We have a problem. I don't know how, but the Eternal Sword is missing.
Okay, so fill me in here. What is the Eternal Sword, and why is it missing?
Because someone stole it. Come on! We have to find them before they escape.
Okay, that can't be good. I'll follow you, I guess.
Evbo, if you are saying this...
So apparently in PvP Civilization, there are 5 all-powerful weapons that control the world, and each civilization is, I guess, responsible for guarding their own. Well, now the sword is missing, and when I saw someone running towards the exit with a weapon that was not a sword, I was confident that this was the player who stole it. I wanted to wait for the other swords to find me so I could figure out what to do, but at the same time, the player was getting away. So I was gonna take matters into my own hands. Jumper, perfect timing. Okay, hit me with a speed jump and make it fast. Recently, Jumper and I have been playing around with the idea of intentionally getting hit with a parkour attack. Thank you. So for cases like this, where I need to catch up to someone, I can intentionally get hit by a brewing stand parkour jump to give myself speed to run 5 times faster than the average player. Within a few minutes, I caught up to the player, but my speed wore off, and there was still a large distance between us. However, I think it was close enough to start a parkour battle. Alright, let's see if this works. I summoned 2 ice blocks in my hand, and as I was running, I attacked with a 4-block 360. An attack this powerful should be enough to... Wait, what? At first, I thought my parkour jump was too far away to lock this player into battle, but the attack hasn't even landed yet. The player hasn't jumped. This doesn't make sense. This player has a PvP weapon, but the only way they would know not to jump is if they know how to parkour battle.
Bring me the video journal, or I will hunt you for the rest of your life. Evbo, if you are saying this, you are not safe.
Finally, after what seemed like forever, the gate on the other side of the arena opened. Looks like Siwat got the blocks we needed for our parkour battle. Except, the door closed and, well, no one was here in the arena yet. But that's when I heard the sound of footsteps, and I saw the distortions in the air that I've seen before. Okay, Siwat, why are you invisible?
Someone let Prince Zam out of prison. I couldn't see, but I could tell that they were invisible.
But him getting out of prison isn't the problem. It's how he got out.
I saw him jump from his cell into lava, and right before he landed,
he was hit by something and disappeared.
Okay, so I guess the parkour battle starts now. Hey, you have to explain to me how it works first. I want to try it.
I don't know if it was PvP or parkour, but there is someone out there with a weapon.
Bro, what is this jump you even made? This doesn't even look like parkour. Also, can you give me blocks now?
I don't know why it could be, but the sound it made was the sound of death.
After becoming the hero of PvP Civilization, I was accidentally transported to an entirely different universe, one that was called Parkour Civilization, where the only goal was to survive. I needed to get back to PvP Civilization somehow, but the only way that was possible was to become the champion of Parkour Civilization. And I was just about to achieve that until...
Open up. Today's the last day you have to live.
Alright, time to die in PvP Civilization. Now, I know that sounds bad, but trust me, it's not as bad as you think. You see, I have the power to respawn, and long story short, every time I die, it lets other people in PvP Civilization survive.
You haven't died in a while. I thought you were supposed to be good at that.
This is my guard friend Teddy. He's usually pretty nice to me. Wait, what do you mean I haven't died in a while?
The only thing people need you to do is die. Yet you abandoned all of us because you couldn't even do that right?
What do you mean? I'm here right now, aren't I? That's what I'm gonna go do. Let's start saving lives.
Then let's start by saving mine.
Whoa, what are you doing? Wait, what are you talking about? Shields don't even need durability.
So you saved the lives of people you don't know, but you couldn't save mine? Pathetic.
What do you mean I couldn't save yours? What are you talking about? You're a shield. You don't... Wait, what did you just hit me with? Your shield. Why did it sound like that? I've heard that before. Why have I heard that before? Whoa, where am I? What is going on? Wait, was I dreaming? I don't even remember what the dream was about, but things just feel weird. I'm in my room in PvP Civilization, but why does that feel wrong? I swear I was just somewhere else. How did I just get back here? Okay, this is really weird. I felt like I just woke up from a really long dream. Okay, I think things are coming back to me now. I'm thinking of parkour. Why am I thinking of parkour? I mean, I like parkour, so it's not that I shouldn't be thinking of parkour, but it felt like I was parkouring like everywhere. Wait, I was parkouring everywhere. Come on, what was that place called? Parkour Civilization. Oh, now it's coming back to me. Wait, did I become a parkour master? I forget what it was called, but I had gold boots. I don't know why that all felt so real, but well, now I'm in PvP Civilization, so I guess it was just some weird dream. That was the thought I convinced myself of as I walked back into my room. After all, why would I believe that there was an entire civilization surrounding parkour that I somehow teleported to? But that's when I saw the golden boots still on my feet. That entire dream wasn't a dream at all. I was in Parkour Civilization, so how did I get back? In all my years alive in Parkour Civilization, I've never been in a parkour stalemate before. I never considered the possibility that, well, you can attack someone with a parkour jump, but as long as they don't move, well, then they'll never take damage at all. Now, granted, this can't be a long-term solution for this guy since he has to move eventually, but this player knows he's been attacked with parkour, so if he's not gonna move, what is he waiting for? But at that moment, the player pulled out another weapon in his other hand. It was a netherite sword. My guess is that that's the sword that was just stolen. Now, the people from PvP Civilization didn't exactly fill me in on the importance of this sword, so I might be about to die. Wait, what? Just then, the player looked to his left and threw the sword on the ground. Once again, PvP knowledge is limited, but I thought you had to swing in the air with your sword to deal damage. But that's when I realized that throwing the sword on the ground wasn't his attack. He was giving the sword to someone. Someone I couldn't see. I could barely make out the particles, but someone was standing invisible next to this player. Okay, this could get confusing. I've never had to parkour battle someone while being in an existing parkour battle. And then what happens if I get attacked by PvP? What then? At that moment, the invisible player decided to answer for me and started building a parkour jump. Whoever this invisible player was definitely from Parkour Civilization. So why and how are they teamed up with someone from PvP Civilization? Also, what is this jump I'm looking at? It doesn't even look like a parkour. What the? Where did he just go? Within a second, the loud sound of an impact rang throughout the air, followed by the player in front of me completely disappearing. I got closer to the parkour jump that the invisible player built, and I realized that it wasn't just the player in front of me that disappeared. Both of them just vanished into thin air. Whatever this is, whatever that sound was, I don't know what I'm dealing with here, but part of me thinks that this is related to how I ended up in PvP Civilization. Alright, we are back with a video journal update. Now let's get into the obvious. How am I back in PvP Civilization? I have no clue. So, Parkour Civilization and all that stuff, that was real. Now I know what you're thinking, sure, I got teleported to an alternate dimension that's only filled with parkour. Yeah, I know it sounds unbelievable, but I'm wearing gold boots. I literally became a parkour master. Not to brag, but I actually almost became the champion until I died, which brings me to where we are now. I'm back in PvP Civilization. I don't know how, but thanks to my trusty respawn power, I'm guessing it somehow transcends space and time. So even though I died in Parkour Civilization, I somehow woke back up in PvP Civilization. Look, don't ask me how it works, I obviously don't know, but me being back in PvP Civilization isn't exactly a good thing. My friends Foray and Minitech are still stuck in Parkour Civilization as far as I'm concerned, so now it's like, what do I even do? Now I have to find a way back to the civilization that I wanted to get out of. This doesn't even make any sense. I don't even know if that's possible. It's not like if I die here, I'm gonna wake back up in Parkour Civilization. But then again, how exactly did I get to Parkour Civilization in the first place? Oh man, a lot of unanswered questions. But me being back in PvP Civilization isn't exactly a bad thing. If a ton of people from my civilization ended up in the parkour universe, I think it's safe to assume that parkour people came here. So, if life hasn't fallen apart already in PvP Civilization, I think it's safe to say that I'll find an explanation for why the PvP and parkour universes are colliding. Alright, what a great video journal update. Now I'm gonna go down to the Diamond Sword level and hope that all war hasn't broken out and that all my progress to save the world hasn't been reverted. Okay, signing off. When I got down to the Diamond Sword level, nothing looked out of the ordinary, but that was until I saw my first player. I was expecting to see Wembu, Julie, or Tabby, but instead I saw just a player with gold boots.
No way, you came back already? Okay, I'll admit I tried testing the highest possible speed on you. I'm sorry.
What?
Hey, where'd your netherite boots go? Could be a side effect from the extremely high levels of speed I gave you. But why did they turn back to gold? I'm gonna have to write this down in my notes.
I'm sorry, forgive me for being confused. Who exactly are you?
This is worse than I thought. Okay, writing down memory loss as another side effect of extremely high levels of speed.
I am very lost right now.
Well, this is just perfect. The parkour god doesn't even remember who he is anymore, and it's all my fault. Hey, what's your name again?
Evbo?
So, which makes this one...
Thank you, Jumper, for the speed. Unfortunately, I did not catch the guy. I don't even know how to explain what just happened to him. He just disappeared. I was fighting him and then what the...
I'll just let you two catch up first.
Oh my, this is it. This is the moment my life has been leading to. Being face to face with an alternate version of myself? Oh man, this is crazy. What do I even ask him? He hasn't said a single word yet, so he's probably in the same state of analysis that I am, which is actually good for me because obviously I want to come off as cool, so I have some time to think before I say anything. Wait, is this even the Evbo from Parkour Civilization? The statue I saw of myself had diamond boots on, but this Evbo is wearing netherite boots. Okay, I guess we just have to accept the fact that we might be looking at a possibility of a third Evbo. Nope, that still is a statue of me. That was when I was the parkour champion. I'm the parkour god now. What in the world? He can read my mind? How was I supposed to account for that? You're speaking out loud. I don't know if you know that. It's okay though. I've been known to monologue myself sometimes. Okay, well, that's just perfect. You know what? I don't even care. I'm talking to myself. This is so cool. So I bet this is pretty weird for you to be seeing me, right? Wait. Is your name Evbo? Yeah, it is, and honestly, it doesn't surprise me. For whatever reason, our two universes, Parkour Civilization and PvP Civilization, are intertwined. And then, when I saw the, what is it called? Video journal you made? Well, that was when I knew another version of myself was out there, and we were bound to meet soon. Whoa, you just watched my video journal? Okay, this is crazy. You have to tell me which season you like better. Honestly, for me, it's kind of tough. I mean, Season 1 was a little more grounded, a little more mysterious. Season 2, a lot more emotion, better song selection. I don't know, what do you think? I didn't watch chapters 1 and 2. I just watched your video journal from Parkour Civilization. Wait, you didn't watch chapter 1 or chapter 2, but you watched my video journal from Parkour Civilization? How did you even watch that journal anyways? How is that even possible? I mean, you can't blame me. I was told it was like 5 hours. And also, we're stuck in each other's universes. We kind of got to focus on that right now. I know, but you started at the very end of the journal. I'm not happy about it, but I guess it makes sense.
Evbo? Is that really you? How is this possible? I saw you in Parkour Civilization. How did you get back?
Oh man, Tabby, I'm glad you're okay. I honestly have no clue. I just died and woke up here.
Well, we might have just found something that could help us explain this situation. Also, Evbo, should I be concerned that there's now 2 of you?
I mean, I don't think so. Besides, what's wrong with more of me? I'm awesome.
I'm gonna let everyone here know now that when Evbo became the ruler of the world, he not only built a statue for himself, he built 2 statues for himself. So as long as this Evbo has even half the ego as mine, I think we'll get along just fine.
I don't have an ego, do I?
No, but you do talk way too much.
Okay, that's because I'm monologuing for the story. It's different. Meeting another version of yourself is crazy, but seeing the other version of yourself flying is another story. Tabby, why is Evbo flying?
Yeah, he's the so-called parkour god of his universe.
The other Evbo is a god?
Yeah, don't ask me how it works. It just does.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. Wait, but I'm still the cooler Evbo, right?
We're wasting time. We have 2 worlds to save.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Wait, Tabby? Wait. You didn't answer the question. The group assembled at the video journal headquarters. Hey, it took you a while to get here. You want me to teach you how to parkour so you can go faster? You know what? That is a tempting offer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that does sound really cool. Okay, I'll come back to that. For now, let's see what the parkour champion found in the video journal. The guy in the diamond boots, the parkour champion, said that there was something on my video journal that might explain why people are teleporting across universes. Obviously, I'm a little confused because, well, this is my journal. But you know me, I don't mind rewatching my old stuff.
Evbo, if you're seeing this, you are not safe. Someone let Prince Zam out of prison. I saw him jump from his cell into lava, and right before he landed, He was hit by something and disappeared. I don't know if it was PvP or parkour, but there is someone out there with a weapon.
This is insane. Foray made a video journal? Okay, this is crazy. I don't think you guys from Parkour Civilization understand how huge this is. Foray does not speak. So obviously a huge takeaway from that video journal. And then let's get to the second thing. So Prince Zam was hit by an item and teleported back to PvP Civilization? That's strange because I was hit by something, but I died from it. I'm sure you can fill me in more. I don't really know how parkour damage works, but someone made a weird staircase thing and I guess I died from that. Also, there was that noise that keeps replaying in my head. I wonder if that's the noise Foray was talking about. Hold up, you said you died by a staircase, right? I think I just encountered the same thing earlier today. Follow me. I want to know if this is what you saw right before you died. I followed the parkour god and Tabby out into the desert where I saw a small structure in the distance. The parkour god was onto something. The small build right in front of me was exactly like the staircase I saw back in Parkour Civilization. The only difference is that this one was noticeably smaller. Wait, so you were in a parkour battle, I guess is what you call it, with Prince Zam, and someone invisible jumped off this tower and Prince Zam just disappeared? That's correct, and my theory now is Prince Zam is no longer in PvP Civilization. My thinking is that whoever this invisible player is has the power to transport players across our two universes. The problem is that we don't know who this invisible person is or what they look like. But don't worry, I think I have a solution on how we can find the identity of our invisible person. The parkour god thinks he saw something when Prince Zam was hit with the mysterious item. So now him and this person Jumper Who are trying to find a way to use parkour to rewatch his own memories. Okay, so you can hit me with the bed jump, but that would just put me to sleep, right?
Not unless my intentions are to put you in a dream state.
Okay, but how do we slow down the memory? It's gonna be too fast.
I suppose I can try and make a 4-block bed jump onto a honey block back onto a bed for a parkour combo to slow down the dream.
No, but a honey block inside the parkour combo would only slow down my physical speed inside of the dream.
What about cobwebs?
Jumper, you might be a genius. Okay, hit me with the 2-block cobweb neo between two beds. Bro, what am I listening to right now? It's hard to tell if the people from Parkour Civilization are just genuinely insane, but I did get hit by magical parkour damage before, so I guess this is just normal to them. I watched Jumper purposely attack the other version of myself with a Neo jump, whatever that is, and supposedly this is gonna put him to sleep where he can watch a slowed down version of his memory. Yeah, okay, I think it's safe to say I have no clue how parkour works. After the parkour damage was dealt, I was now in a dream state. If Jumper and I planned this correctly, this should be my memory, and it should be slowed down. However, this is experimental parkour, so anything could go wrong. But currently, this does seem like the moment when that player disappeared right in front of my eyes. So now, the question is, can I get a look at who our invisible player is? I couldn't make out who it was when they were standing on top of the staircase, but that wasn't the part when I thought I saw them. It was right at the moment of impact, right when this player was hit with that weapon. That's when I thought I saw something. All right, now I just gotta wait for impact and hope it's slow enough. That's the weapon. I saw it. But who is that?
At this rate, people will soon become aware of your presence. What are we gonna do?
There's no need to stay in the shadows any longer. The world is ready to meet the one who is going to free them.
I saw what you told me to look for. I had a life in this universe, and then Evbo became a god and killed me. This entire universe is proof of what will become of mine if we don't put an end to him. Will you be enough to stop 2 of him?
I'm the only one of my kind. I am the only player to be born between both PvP and parkour universes. I hold the weapon that serves as a reminder of my purpose. You see, the universe can feel, and the universe felt an imbalance of power. One player being allowed to rule over 2 civilizations was purely unjust. So, it summoned me to correct that imbalance of power. And to correct it, I need to destroy it.
Okay, let's get everyone caught up to speed here. So, our mysterious player has a weapon that when you get hit by it, it transports you between parkour and PvP civilization. Right, and I think what's also important is to note that we don't have a name for this weapon. So we're gonna need to come up with a name now because if I'm gonna be referencing it in the video journal, you know what I mean? What did it look like again? Well, if I were to put it in parkour terms, I would say the handle was about a 3-4 block jump distance, and then it's like if you were jumping to a giant vertical box at the end of it. Okay, so that description gave us absolutely nothing. So it's like a giant club.
Wait, why don't we call it the mace?
I Yeah, I mean, that sounds good to me. Alright, from here on out, the villain is the mace. Okay, so now that we've given a cool name for this weapon, now we have to establish the motive. What does the mace want? Then we have to think about origin. Where did the mace come from? Then maybe we go into the...
Evbo, what's going on?
After the universes of Parkour and PvP Civilization collide, both worlds now face an enemy that threatens to destroy everything. An enemy known as the Mace. And if this powerful player isn't stopped, he could accomplish his mission of wiping out both of our civilizations. Which is why no matter what, this is a fight we can't lose. But did we lose already? The whole point of my existence in PvP Civilization is to give my life to others. That's it. That's all I have to do. No one expects anything of me other than just to die. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that being my only purpose because it gives me the chance to save my family. But what's the point of my existence if I can't even do that? I just watched my entire family get wiped out in a matter of seconds. Everything in my life is just gone. And now I guess it's my time to go too. I was looking at the person holding the mace and they were saying something, but I couldn't make out any voices. It was like life was moving in slow motion. The parkour god was still standing next to me, but no one was moving. Maybe he was just as frozen as I was. But at that moment, the mace threw something on the ground and teleported in midair. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how that was possible. But at that moment, nothing really mattered to me anymore. Somewhere beside me, I heard blocks placing and the parkour god saying something. Brewing stands? Why are there brewing stands? Does he want me to parkour? I don't get it. Don't think, just jump. Jump now. He wants me to jump? I don't know why I even jumped. It didn't feel like there was any point to fighting back anymore. But regardless, I still jumped and got hit by his brewing stand attack. For what? I don't really know. The parkour jump gave me some effect. I had resistance 3? Why did I need resistance? But that's when I looked up, and within a few seconds, almost all of my hearts were gone, and I was standing in a completely new environment in front of the mace. Even with the resistance, the attack did 6.5 hearts of damage.
Now you understand my true strength. Just as the weak lived under your rule, you will now live under mine. These universes are in desperate need of change, and I will give that to them.
And with that, the mace threw an item on the ground and disappeared once again. Whatever that item was, I wasn't sure how it worked, but I was pretty certain about the outcome. If he teleports back to this dimension and hits me with the mace again, I'll just respawn. But what's even the point if everyone I ever cared about is gone? Who would I be respawning to save? I stood there on the parkour platform waiting for my imminent death, but the mace never came back, and I don't know why.
You left me with no choice. I saw what you did to me in this civilization. In hindsight, I might have just saved all of PvP Civilization by selling you out.
Hitting Evbo with a resistance jump should have been enough to keep him alive, but now the question is, how do I deal with the mace myself? I can't get too close to him because of PvP, and I need to put him in a parkour combo that he won't be able to do. Alright Mace, if you're so good to become the parkour champion, let's see how you can handle this. Here's the combo we're working with. A 3-block vertical jump into a 360 copper rod jump to strike him with lightning, into a campfire jump to light him on fire. But just as I was about to complete the parkour combo, I stopped before the final jump. The mace just ran away. I took down my parkour attack and was very confused. Why would a villain who was able to wipe out every single person with one attack just run away from a fight? Why not just get rid of me while he had the chance? Unless he thinks he's gonna lose. What are you talking about? I've saved your life countless times.
Have you seen the statues here? The statues you made of yourself? I was the only one who questioned unconditionally giving you power. And I was right to do so.
Why would you say that? How could you convince yourself that I'm sacrificing myself to conquer a civilization? Everything I've done has been to help you and your people survive. Why would I be doing that if I didn't care?
Do you know that you killed me? In this universe, you were the one who took my life. So I don't care who you claim to be, because I know what kind of person you are deep down.
You say all that, and yet you stand there with your family being alive. And what you did cost the lives of all of mine. And I don't know how I'm gonna forgive you for that, but I'm gonna try, because it's what my friends would have wanted. So I don't really care anymore. I'm gonna keep sacrificing myself, and you can take my durability if you want to live longer. And if you don't want it, fine by me. But now I'm gonna go figure out how to save both of our universes.
You're just going to ignore the part where I told you killed me in this universe?
If that really is true, well, that wasn't even me. So if you have a problem, why don't you go take it up with him? Just gonna warn you though, he is a god, so he's probably not gonna just roll over and die like I do. But what do I care? Go pick a fight with him. Be my guest.
Open up. It's time for your mandatory parkour. Or, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go.
No. You're gonna come back here. Hey, so you remember my friend with the diamond sword, right?
Yes, I very clearly remember him.
Good. Okay, well, if you don't do this, you're probably gonna see him again. So I basically need you to take me out with a parkour attack.
I'm sorry, you want to die by parkour?
After the mace sent me here, dying and respawning is the only way I can think to get back to PvP civilization. The problem is jumping in the void still keeps me here, so I have to die by something else. Hey, you think you can hit me with something more than a 1-block jump? This is like taking forever.
I'm sorry, this is the only attack I know.
After being attacked by the 20th 1-block jump, I finally died and woke back up in PvP civilization. What my plan was now, I don't even know. Maybe the parkour god Evbo is still alive, but if he's not, what do I even do? Before I left my room, I thought about video journaling, but something in my mind couldn't bring me to do it. I've experienced loss before, but not like this. It just didn't feel right doing a video journal machine without everyone in my life. And now I have to go try to save the world if that's even possible. And they're not here to help me do that either. As I left my room, I thought to myself, maybe I should have made a video journal. Because if I encounter the mace again, well, that might have been my last chance to make one. I got back down to the diamond sword level, and to my surprise, I saw the parkour god still standing there. Evbo? What happened? How are you still alive? Where did the mace go? Well, I'd like to say I beat him with a parkour combo, but the truth is he just ran away from my combo altogether. I mean, it was a lightning jump plus a campfire jump. I'm sorry. I lost everyone I ever cared about, but you lost your people too. I don't know what I should have done, but this just seems like my fault. I should have prepared you for what it's like in this universe. I just didn't expect this to happen. Hey, you don't have anything to apologize for. Look, some of my villains have gotten me down to rock bottom too. Trust me, it's not your job to save me. No, you don't get it. That is my job. That is the only reason why I live. The only thing I'm good for in this world is giving more people life. And I couldn't even do that. My friends needed me, and I failed them. Look, I know better than anyone what it's like to feel like you have no hope left. So many times throughout my life, I found myself at the bottom. Literally. But I always figured out a way to get back up. You just gotta believe in yourself. I don't get it. How can you stand there and be so optimistic when you lost people too? The mace took your family. Why aren't you more sad? Well, for one, the parkour champion's always calling me out for my inflated ego, which is not true, so I'm kinda glad he's gone. But anyways, I guess the second reason is more important. I don't think they're actually gone. I think my friends, I think your friends, I think everyone is still alive. And we can save them. Wait. What are you talking about? How do you know they're still alive? Remember how I said the mace just ran away? After my parkour combo, the mace just got up and left. The mace took out every single one of us with one attack, except left the two most powerful people alive? I don't know, doesn't seem right. Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that we saw our friends die right in front of our eyes. And this wasn't just teleportation, this was different. We saw them collapse. I know a death when I see one. Okay, answer me this then. You told me when I got here that the way PvP civilization works, when you die, someone drops a weapon and you get their durability to stay alive for longer. So, your friends, the ones with the diamond swords, when they died, where did their diamond swords go? I don't know. I guess I never noticed that. But still, how does that prove that they're still alive? The mace running away from your parkour attack doesn't prove anything. Sure it does. Allow me to explain. The mace is obviously looking to be the most powerful player of both civilizations. So what does he do? Well, he starts at parkour civilization and becomes the champion. And with the power of the command blocks, he gives himself an item that allows him to teleport and fly up into the air at will. But even though he has that new item to accompany his powerful weapon, he still runs away from us. Because even though he's far more powerful than us, there's something that's scaring him. There's still something that threatens his existence, which I'm guessing has something to do with your netherite weapons. Wait, you're right. He's going after all the eternal weapons to give himself a wish. And if everyone he defeats doesn't drop a weapon, our villain is running out of durability. Oh my god, okay, I get it now. The mace wants to make himself immortal because he can't get more PvP attacks. Okay, I have an idea on how we can stop him. Follow me. No, you gotta be kidding me. Siwat, please, I know you're working with the mace, but don't give him the eternal bow. He's after immortality, and if he gets it, we won't be able to stop him.
So you're allowed to be immortal, but you draw the line when it comes to others. Regardless, you're too late. I already willingly gave him the bow. You won't be able to stop him. and I for one will enjoy seeing you try.
I know you and I have our differences, but we can still make this right. You can still help us.
After everything I've seen, you won't be able to convince me you're not the one who needs to be stopped.
Well, this isn't a guarantee, but maybe I can help convince him. Whoa, no way. Your universe has a Siwat. Now that is a face I have not seen in a long time.
You have some nerve showing up here, thinking you'll be the one to change my mind?
Right, I totally forgot about that. Siwat knows what you did to the other version of him in Parkour Civilization? Wait, I'm confused. I didn't do anything to Siwat. What did the mace tell you?
He didn't just tell me. He showed me. I saw you threaten me with brewing stands or whatever. You were the one who ended my life there.
Look, I'm not gonna pretend that Siwat and I's relationship wasn't complicated, but that wasn't what killed him. Nor was I the one to do it. Here, let me show you. Parkour has many uses in our world. One of them being able to show someone your old memories with a bed jump, so that hopefully they'll change their mind and help us save the world.
So, we were friends in Parkour Civilization?
Well, I wouldn't have called us best friends, but look, all I can say is just give this Evbo a shot, and who knows, you might end up enjoying working with him.
Fine. I'll help you guys stop the mace.
Alright, we are back with a video journal update. Look, I know it's been a while, and if you're wondering how I'm on a video journal, well, you should have been paying attention to the Chapter 2 lore because you would have known how a video journal machine got into the Bo civilization. Alright, anyways, vibes are completely up right now because my family is still alive. In fact, everyone who supposedly died by the mace is still alive. The reason why the mace can't get any durability is because every player he takes out gets sent to a void between Parkour and PvP civilization, somewhere the mace can't get to. And the only way to free them is to destroy the mace altogether. The mace was the answer from the very beginning. It's why both of our civilizations were overlapping. So, if the mace is the bridge between both of our worlds, we have to destroy it. So, how do we do that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. However, the team is upset with me for stopping immediately to journal, so I'm gonna transition to my other video journal machine. Hey, is this really necessary? I kinda like the floor in my room. Look, in Parkour Civilization, every house has a parkour jump. You should just be lucky that it's not a jump into the void. Yeah, alright, I guess it's fine. Alright, like I said, we're back with another video journal. Well, it's kind of the same video journal, but different setting. And this is the place where we're going to be saving the world. And it's going to revolve around a parkour jump in my house, apparently. So the plan? Well, the plan is to fight the mace, except we're not going to be doing so much fighting as we are dying. And by we, I just mean me, but what's new? One of the main components of this plan not just involves the parkour god, but Siwat. For the first time, I'm letting an outsider in the same room as my respawn armor stand. Not ideal, but it's what we need to do to save the world. So without further ado, let's get to that part of saving the world, and I'll explain as I go. The first part of this plan involves Evbo hitting me with the brewing stand jump to give me resistance. It's how I was able to survive the mace attack earlier. Now the next part is Siwat's responsibility. Why Siwat's even needed here, I don't exactly know. Something about parkour rules and turns, I don't know. But he's gonna hit me with an experimental type of parkour. The idea is that getting hit with a chorus fruit jump can send me anywhere in the world. And if he has the intentions to send me to the mace, well, that's exactly where I'll go. If all goes well, I get teleported right to the mace's location and I can PvP. Now taking out the mace with PvP alone would make my job much easier, but it's unrealistic because the mace can just fly up and disappear anytime he wants with the item he has. The real goal is for the mace to take the bait. After I get hit with the mace, I'll survive, but I'll be teleported back to Parkour Civilization. Now the mace doesn't exactly have time to waste. He's gonna teleport straight back to PvP Civilization to look for the eternal weapons. After all, he's running out of durability and he just used one more PvP attack to take out me, which is exactly what I wanted him to do. Now, once he leaves, I drop my sword, die, respawn back in PvP Civilization, and do the whole thing over again. And hopefully we're gonna do this until we use up every single attack from the mace. And once the mace breaks, well, the bridge between Parkour and PvP Civilization will be broken. The real question is, how much durability does the mace even have?
You are fighting a battle you will never win.
Alright, you win. I give up, I guess. Now, something we already accounted for, the mace is gonna figure out what we're up to. After dying hundreds of times in a row, it's gonna be obvious that we're trying to waste his durability. But here's the beauty of our plan. What choice does the mace have? If the mace doesn't get rid of me quickly, I can take him out with PvP alone.
Stop this!
Sorry about that. Now, if the mace uses his item to teleport back to Parkour Civilization, well, no point in hiding there because 1, he can't get the eternal weapons in Parkour Civilization, and 2, turns out the chorus fruit jump can send me there too. There's no place in either civilization the mace is safe from me. So, if you're a supervillain like the mace, your biggest enemy is someone who's not afraid to die over and over to save the world.
Long time no see. You look like you're doing well.
Okay, it's clear that getting hit in the head with the mace so many times is starting to take a toll. Well, I can't be doing that well. I'm talking to the ghost of you.
You know you would still talk to yourself even in perfect health, right?
Huh, fair point, I guess. Alright, I guess I'll go with it. Got nothing better to do other than die, so.
It's good to see you doing what you do best. Saving lives is what you were meant to do.
Yeah, well, I couldn't save yours, so am I really that good at saving lives?
You're wrong about that, you know. You were the one who gave me purpose. I never had a life worth saving to begin with. But you giving me that opportunity is something I could never repay you for.
Hey, well, I appreciate the kind words, but you're not even the real Teddy. You're just in my imagination.
Maybe I'm not, but it's the truth. Now keep dying until one day you won't have to anymore.
It was almost as if this imaginary Teddy knew that I was on my last death. Because for once, as I stood across the mace, he stopped moving. He had no words left to speak, and all I could see was the look of defeat. It was over. The mace had one attack left of durability. We must have been standing there for a while because shortly after, Evbo appeared by my side. Hey, are you okay? Is it over? Yeah, I think the mace is out of durability. Once we destroy the mace, both of our universes will go back to normal. Are you ready for that? Well, on one hand, saving the world with an alternate version of myself is probably the coolest thing of all time. But on the other, I need my family back, so yeah, I guess I'm ready. All right, well, it's yours to do the honors. The parkour god set up a chest jump, and as if our victory wasn't already confirmed, the mace knew he was defeated and willingly got hit by the attack. The next thing I knew, the most powerful weapon in both of our universes was in the chest right in front of me. No way. Wait, can I use this thing? It's got one hit left, so I can't think of a better send-off. I'll give you a boost too to get some height. Okay, well, this is gonna be the coolest attack of all time. Whoa, 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 if you're going for style, can you do me a quick favor? Trust me, I know what to do. All right, don't let me down. It's all yours. Let's do this. Well, this has been quite the adventure. Got sent to an entirely different universe, met the alternate version of myself who turned out to be a god, and saved both universes from a crazy powerful villain. And to top it all off, we ended things with a 360. Man, it's crazy how different one universe is from another. I wonder if I should make it my life's goal to seek out all the other Evbos in every single universe. All right, that's probably an ambitious goal, so I'm not gonna do that now. But at least I can say I had the benefit of probably meeting the coolest Evbo out there. After the mace broke, everyone from PvP Civilization that got wiped out by the mace or was trapped in Parkour Civilization all reappeared here back in PvP Civilization. So I was back with my entire family. Meanwhile, the Parkour Civilization crew, well, they got sent back to their respective universe. So that was probably the last time I would ever see the parkour god again. But honestly, I couldn't have been more happy with our time together. Before we left though, I actually had 1 second to talk with him. It was just after the mace broke. Hey, before you go, I want to ask you something. When I was dying a lot, I saw my friend Teddy, who's not with us anymore. Was that real? Look, I know from experience that with parkour, a lot of things are possible. I hope that answers your question. I don't think it does. Take care, Evbo. Thanks for teaching me about PvP. Well, that is gonna wrap up this adventure of Parkour and PvP Civilization. This has been a fun one. Not quite as long as Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of PvP Civilization, but, you know, we had some things to deal with. We didn't really have access to video journals as much, so... But anyways, this is the end of the journal. And I would say this is the final one, but you know what they say. As long as you can parkour, there's always a way. All right, signing off.